That's right. Yawning again, a familiar show intro to many of the longtime listeners. I'm back to overnight, back to the graveyard shift, back to no sleep, back to the pain and sorrow and misery of an existence devoid of rest, devoid of energy, except for the artificial energy. Thank God there's a cafe below the studio now. That's all I have to say. I don't know how I would be doing this show. I don't know how I would survive. Back to 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, just getting by. The thing is when you're available all the time, you're available all the time. And when you're a really important son of a bitch like me, people demand that time all the time. So we did a test intro show, a recording with a new podcast that we will be announcing in a few weeks. I'm very excited about it. But of course, they do it during business hours, and that's usually when I sleep. And of course, the time that they're available is Friday morning, and I have a show Friday evening. So here I am on 3 hours of sleep. I am Pittsburgh's moral compass, Brian Crawford, here in Mr. Small's studio. This is River Talk. This is on the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com. You can listen to us on TuneIn Radio as well, and you can also listen on your smart speaker by asking your Alexa to play the River's Edge station on TuneIn. And that's right, I just activated all of your Alexas right now. Just tell it, play the River's Edge station on TuneIn. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about going back to overnight. I really enjoyed sleeping. It's not overrated, sleep, at all. I used to think that it was, because I survived by not sleeping. And I did it for almost 3 years. Well, now I'm back. You accomplish, in some ways you accomplish more when you're working overnight, but in some ways you don't. It's really weird because you have all of this time, and when you go through periods of mania, which, luckily I'm going through a period of mania right now, and I'm getting a lot of shit done, which is great, because I just can go without sleep, but eventually it catches up with you. And when you get your rest, it's weird, you have more time without the rest and working overnight, but whenever you have the rest, you seem to make better use of your time. You're a lot more efficient, typically, because you could just muscle through things. And now I don't have that. I don't have that energy. I don't have that sleep. Because even when you get 8 hours of sleep working overnight, it's not a true 8 hours of sleep. You're always a little bit tired, so you start pumping yourself with drugs to keep yourself awake. And it's weird. And you get all of those weird feelings when you don't get sleep, the hallucinations and everything else that I've talked about over the years. If you miss those, just look back at previous episodes. I'm not going to retell the stories. They're all on iTunes. riversedgepgh.com/rivertalk. Go listen and watch there. Jay Cooper, our usual Saturday co-host, he's not with us today. He is getting himself a new car. He's at the car dealer as we speak. I tried to get him to call into the show with an update, but he's under intense negotiations, so I don't think he's going to be able to call in. If you look behind me, we have the International Podcast Day logo, because we are going to be doing an International Podcast Day event coming up. I still can't release the information. It is coming, I promise you, and it's going to be a great event. Just stay tuned for all of that. We've got a lot on the show for you today. We're going to talk a lot about beer. Pittsburgh, as you know, is becoming, or maybe you don't know, maybe you're living under a rock, but if you are, I will let you know that Pittsburgh is becoming a really big beer town with over 30 breweries in the Pittsburgh area. It's insane. I believe just within Allegheny County, there's over 30 breweries. That doesn't even include the other breweries that are easily drivable, such as Helltown out in what is it? Is it Mount Pleasant? And then I know there's some up in Butler and all over the area. It's crazy. So they came out with a beer guide. We're going to talk about the beer guide. We're going to talk about a possible beer museum, which is slated to come to Pittsburgh. So lots of really interesting stuff there. And also we have Kiwano Sour, who is in studio as well. We're going to be talking with them in just a few minutes about their upcoming CD release party. And we're going to talk about the stadiums. The stadiums, PNC Park, Heinz Field, PPG Paints Arena. Not Highmark Stadium, though. They're not on the list. But all of the stadiums, they want more of your money. I want to hear your thoughts on that. 412-4072-PGH. You can text the show. You can message me on Twitter at RiverTalkPGH. Or, of course, you can message us in the Facebook live chat feed and the live chat room at riversedgepgh.com/live. I'm Brian Crawford. This is the River's Edge. We're going to treat this as a Sunday show with Jay out of the studio. So we're going to bring you, instead of Cooper's Corner, instead of the Hood Rat of the Week, we are going to be bringing you the weird news, a double helping of the weird news this week, today, and as well on Sunday night. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we've got some really great weird news stories, including some educational stories. I learned through one of the weird news stories how to tell how fresh your fish are. And I know you're thinking, why is that in the weird news? But just wait, you'll find out. It's really an innovative way to sell fish and let people know that it's the freshest fish on the market. So that's going to be up a little bit halfway through the show. Definitely stay tuned for that. I also want to let you guys know about an event that I will be hosting. I'm really excited. It is tomorrow, and it is the PGH Transcontinental Homecoming with Liz Victory and Krish Mohan, two great friends of mine who are getting married here in the coming month. Really excited to talk with all of them, talk with them at the event. They were just on the Mike Sasson show. You can listen to that episode on the River's Edge page to hear their interview with Mike. But I'm really excited to host this event. Two great friends of mine. Liz is obviously with the network, with that broadcast. We're hoping now that they are coming back from their tour that she'll get that show back up and running. I can't even imagine going on tour in that regard. And I know so many of our listeners are musicians and artists, and they've traveled on tour. But I just couldn't imagine, and maybe it's because the older I get, the less willing I am to rough it. And when I was younger, I roughed it more than most of you, more than any of you. I guarantee you I roughed it more than most of you. Sleeping out under the stars, sleeping on rocks, sleeping in weird places every weekend, every summer. I've done my time. I've paid my dues. And now when I look to travel, I'm looking for a hotel. I'm looking for the hotel with the sleep number bed. I'm looking for a hotel with a continental breakfast. I'm looking for a hotel with a hot tub or a jacuzzi. That's what I'm looking for now that I'm in my 30s. But I've paid my dues. But I can't imagine. Both of them, Krish, I think he's in his late 20s, but Liz, she's in her 30s, getting in a car and traveling out to California and back with all of these stops on the way, not knowing how they're going to make it from day to day. I just couldn't even imagine that. I play it safe here in Pittsburgh, but man, I'm excited to see them come back. I'm excited to talk with them. I miss them. They've been around. They've been gone for it feels like months. I think it has been a couple months. I'll have to ask them how long they've been gone, but I'm really excited about this show. It's going to be tomorrow, 7 p.m. at Ham Bones. Sheena and the Shadow Puppets, Sister Sheena and the Shadow Puppets will be performing, as well as Derek Minto, comedian. So it's going to be a variety show. Lots of good stuff, and that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. I want to hear your thoughts, 412-4072-PGH. You can text us or in the Facebook Live page. How do you feel about the stadiums requesting more of your money to improve the facilities? I want to hear your thoughts there. What are your thoughts on a beer museum coming to Pittsburgh? How many breweries have you gone to? I feel like I'm somebody who goes to a lot of these breweries, but I've gone to nowhere near 30. That just is crazy to me. I feel like I've only done a fraction of these breweries. And I tend to go to the same ones all the time. I guess I need to get that beer guide. And it's great because they have a website for the beer guide. And I checked out the website. You should check it out as well. Just type in Pittsburgh Beer Guide on the interwebs. And they have actual tours lined out. So they've basically grouped different breweries within the city of Pittsburgh. And they've come up with a map that tells you how to get from brewery to brewery, all in different locations, so you can take different days and literally go on a tour, all mapped out, easy to read, easy to navigate. It is just, well, it's not an alcoholic's paradise, because if you're an alcoholic going to breweries, you got to have a good job for that. But if you're just someone who's a big connoisseur of beer, that's the place to go. So we're going to bring Kiwano Sour on right now here on the River's Edge, and you guys, you have some good stuff coming up. Let me see if I can pull you up here. No, that's not it. There we go. You guys have an album release party that's coming up on October 20th at the stage at Karma. We've got Kiwano Sour here. We have Sam, Jeff, Dylan, and Oliver here in studio on the River's Edge Radio Network, Pittsburgh's voice for local music. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Tell me about the release party. It's October 20th. It's at Karma. I'm assuming it's going to be in the big room, correct?
Correct. Something that we try to put into the shows that we're putting together with Karma is expanding it past just the live music. So we're going to be having vintage clothing, live painting, and artists set up to vend. And we're going to have an MC for the show. Like, some of the details of the show haven't been entirely ironed out yet, but we definitely have the framework for everything we want. And we're waiting on some opening acts to confirm as well. But we're going to be expanding our sound for the show too, because normally we just have one horn and alto sax player, Rob Ruffner. But we're looking to having a tenor sax, a trumpet, and then some strings on the show as well, which is good.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a bigger sound for sure. So,
well, let's go around it real quick and introduce yourself by the name, so people can put a face, or not a face, but a voice to the name. So we've got Sam here.
Yeah, Sam Kissick, bass player.
I'm Jeff Bland. I do vocals for Kiwano.
I'm Dylan Davey. I play guitar.
And I'm Oliver. I'm the keyboardist.
Fantastic. So how long have you guys... Now, you were saying, real quick...
Yeah, well, I was just just saying that, the October 20th show is going to be awesome. It's just, I was just going to talk about how it's kind of the beginning of a wave of stuff that we're going to be doing with Karma. We have a pretty good relationship with them, and we're looking forward to be doing, I guess, monthly shows? Is that that's
yeah,
going to shake out?
we're going to start off monthly, and then we're going to, once we iron out like a real good format for getting a good attendance to each show, we're going to try to do bi-monthly, where we would play once a month. We've been titling our event Kiwano and Friends. So Kiwano and Friends 1 was August 25th as like a trial run, and it went well. So like with the more time available for promotion and, just put the event together as it should be. If we start with our EP release show and then November, December, we can take a lot of time to promote and make them the events that they should be. And then hopefully in January or February, we start doing bi-monthly, where we would do Kiwano and Friends one of the dates, and then another date we would just organize the event and pay a good headliner to come to stage at Karma. So
now, Sam, you've been working with stage at Karma for quite some time with Three Rivers Circus, which is a promotions company, correct?
Correct. We had an event there on June 9th that was called Shindig on Carson.
Mm-hmm.
It was
which was great. Yeah, I was able to stop by. It was a great time.
Yeah, and we've been, we've worked with the Rex, and we've done the Color Park in Southside, and then actually we're playing 2 Three Rivers Circus events that are coming up here next weekend.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes.
Awesome.
But I want to talk about the stage at Karma. So you've done an event there before. That was under the old ownership. They're under new ownership, correct?
They are. Their new owner's name is Dan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy, and he seemed to like the show that we put together. And they actually altered the layout of Karma inside a little bit. He told me that I should stop down and check it out. I haven't been down there yet, just doing other stuff. But he said that the big room, they moved some stuff around, so I'm excited to go.
They changed it from the August show? It's different from the August show?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I'll have to check that out too. I'm excited.
So has it been easier to work with the new owner? What kind of direction do you think that the stage at Karma is going to go in now that they're under new ownership?
I think that, with the previous owners were more difficult to contact. They cared, there was less attention to the people who are putting the shows together. Because anywhere there's going to be owners, and then there's going to be like a booking agent, and then there's the actual bands involved. And like with us being like the band involved and the booking for like these shows that we've been putting together, it's nice that every time that I've contacted Dan or Janie from Karma, like they have immediately responded to me. And the day of the show, everybody was on time. It was well staffed. The event went great. And like I said, it was just a trial run. We had one live painter, and then like we had nothing going on upstairs, like because in the big room they have that upstairs area. So that's why we're gonna use the EP release show on the 20th to really bring in like a whole bunch of stuff. Like
I'm excited to see that they're still using that space for a local music venue, because I feel like it's such a unique space as a venue. And especially with the multi-layered effect of the venue. You talked about the space upstairs in the main room, but that space is still connected to the main room. It's not separate, so it creates almost a different dynamic where you can either do special seating or make it more of an event space upstairs that's separate from the actual performance space.
And then they have the one side is the bar.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of the bar they have that small stage in there. So like, it has like the capability to do anything from like a folk act to like funk show like us, and then like I know Thursday night they do like a big EDM thing that is pretty popular with the EDM peeps. But so they're trying to like bring live music back into Karma like the way that it was originally intended. And I think that's a good thing, and I'm glad that we can be there to help, and we can be there to like instill the proper culture of like band gets paid, like the headliner gets paid at the end of the night. There's more than just music there. There's all sorts of stuff going on. There's a reason to go. The bands care about each other and like talk to each other before, and like it's structured in a way that it's not just like a one of those shows where there's like 7 bands that play, none of them have anything to do with each other. You play for 25 minutes, every band's fans leave immediately after they get off stage.
Yeah,
that's not what I want. That's annoying and stupid.
It's about setting up a night for art, right? Because we have so much stuff. Like, the music is there, but it's like there's so much other stuff to do. The live painting, there's going to be the pop-up shop and everything for the vintage clothing, and they just want to be like an evening of stuff to do. And the music is there to kind of be, obviously like this visual thing that everybody engages with and auditory. But there's so many other things to engage with while you're there as well.
I'm working on trying to find a barber for the show who can shave a Kiwano melon into my head during the opening.
I want to get a haircut while I'm singing our single.
Yeah, so we get so by the time I get on stage, I will have a Kiwano melon shaved and dyed into my head.
Yes.
Remember when Flea did the like leopard print thing?
Yeah.
I'm going for something like that, but Kiwano melon style.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just work at Mike and Tony's Gyros. It's not like I have anything anyone's going to be worried about.
That's like where I work. People come in their pajamas. I've done it before. No one cares. You're inside of a building where we don't even deal with the public. So yeah, I can completely understand where you're going with that. And it's kind of nice to have that freedom whenever you don't have to worry about dressing a certain way or looking a certain way for work.
Right. Another nice thing about like what we're trying to do with the Karma show is we're trying to find an MC that we can get together with, and like between bands while all of your changeovers are happening and things of that nature, where like people are walking around, people are looking at the art, people are buying Ill Will clothing for sure, and then hopefully Zed's Threads, I can get them involved. But Ill Will clothing is my buddy DJ, and he's just got like a van covered in graffiti full of vintage clothes that are awesome.
That's great. Sure, yeah.
So like people will be looking at clothes, people will be looking at art, and then at the same time we'll try to have like a video board with like the MC, like whether it be like there's some stand up in between the sets, or like there's like a little skit that happens, or like there's a video that plays. You know what I mean? And you can really coordinate that. So like, if there's only like 4 bands on the ticket, there's only 3 interim periods.
Yes.
So like you could actually plan out like some real nice like 10-minute.
Well, I love the fact that you consider that, because that's one thing I hate when you go to a show and there is that big downtime section where
Sig
it
time.
Feels what's that?
Sig time.
Yeah, where it feels like the show's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something I always like to try to fill that space in. So I think that's a great concept. And I did want to ask ask Oliver here on the end.
Oh, jeez.
So bringing you into the conversation. So you're performing. You have all of these things going on with the live art, the clothing. How does that affect your performance? Is there does that inspire you whenever you see all of that going on?
I really love it because it's really about bringing the whole art and music scene in Pittsburgh together all in one place. You really get a more diverse crowd. people there's more energy to go around being spread between the artists and the musicians. And like I was saying, like when one show ends, it's not like it's something dead.
Yes.
It's like you can hear people like mumbling and talking.
Yeah, it keeps the momentum going too.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the real big thing.
energy
Is, like
keeps
if you're
going.
gonna have a show that's hours
Yeah.
and hours long, you want people to go to the beginning because we want people to come see our openers.
Come
for
see the
sure.
openers and stay for the rest of it instead of just like okay, we came and saw our friends. They were the first band and then they left, and then the second band has their friends. It's supposed to be like a big community thing
creating
where
a community,
where like everyone's mixing and mingling and seeing something new and different besides their friend's band who they've seen play 20
A
times.
million times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always good to go out to your friends' shows, and everyone should go to their friends' shows.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can
Stick
make
around
new
for everybody
friends,
else,
and you
yeah.
can go to their shows.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, how long has Kiwano Sour's been around? And it seems like you guys have really, at least from my observation, and maybe it's just because now I know Sam, but I feel like I'm seeing you guys around a lot more. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been together the longest of
Okay.
all of us. They were in a band before. But I joined in, July?
It was late July or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
late July. So I haven't really been around too long. And I think they just started just a couple months before that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, it really hasn't been too long at all. I think Sam and I mean,
Well-
Ali and Sam were in a band before, and then I met Sam at a bar. Well, I mean, I knew Sam for a while, but there's like this
Yeah.
run-in at the bar or whatever where
They were at the bar together, and I saw them talking. And they're like, "Hey, I want to start a funk band." Oh yeah, like you want to start a funk band? I play bass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Jeff-
Sam's like, "Hey, Ollie, like, do you want to play keys in the band?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Because I had gotten a new job because I was working I was going to school and I was working so much in the evening, so I had like no free time at all. So like my evenings were never free, my weekends were booked, and then during the day I was going to school. And then after I left school and I got a job during the day, I was like, I have all this time free in the evenings and I had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so what I was doing with it for a while was going to bootleggers in Oakland and just like drinking. And then I run into Sam there, and I'd known Sam since like pretty much my freshman year of
'Cause
college.
you went to high school in North Allegheny with like Ed and Rick.
Yeah, so we had like kind of like similar friend groups and kind of intersected there. But and I always knew Sam was playing music, and I'd seen his groups a couple times. And then I was just like, I have all this time free now. I want to get together with people, and I hadn't played in like a band in forever. I was doing a lot of like solo stuff, and it kind of just like popped off after that. And
Jeff said to me at the bar, "I'm really looking to start a band. I was like, what kind of band?" He said, like a funk fusion type thing. What I really need is a bassist. I was like, that's fire.
he's like, that's exactly.
Because
how this
me
is
and
gonna
Oliver's
work.
old band, Pirates in Parliament, had like just like broken up just because people graduated.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
The college band, what
coming
happens,
to a
yeah.
halt, and then like moments later, I had that conversation with Jeff, and then we started getting together like pretty much every day. And Oliver's shitty house's basement. Was like, the size of
That
this
was
one.
the worst Christmas
We
band
had a
ever, but it was
47-year-old steel pen player for a time.
Yeah, he was
decided
great.
not to continue with us. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Tried out, different guitarists for what, like about a month and a half.
Actually,
Wow.
where we found Dylan and our sax player Rob, and we're looking for a drummer. Someone want to play drums for us. That's to be fire. But like, everyone should be a part of the Pittsburgh Musicians and Promoters bulletin board on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, need funky guitarist, and Dylan was like, that's me. So we got him.
He certainly wasn't underselling himself, that's for sure.
So,
Like,
so
like,
you didn't launch a
that's
Craigslist ad then? No, okay.
That's how you get murdered.
That's how you get murdered. The Pittsburgh Funk Craigslist page is.
We should get that started.
Yeah, we should. We could.
I don't know
curate
if that's
that.
about music though.
You would be like meeting me in the Walmart parking lot. I play guitar. Or you
Yeah.
So
I'll
if-
bring the generator. You bring
It's got to be nice that things kind of fell into place, because I feel like when your band is coming to an end, being that music is something that you're passionate about, it has to be frustrating to not know. So to have things change around so quickly, turn around so quickly, I feel like that's had to have been reassuring, just to know that you can continue your crafting. You don't have to have that downside, because that down area, because obviously you're gonna find another band at some point. But I know it can be agonizing when it's something that you're really passionate about and you can't do it.
I'm really happy to be in a band with a group of people, the people in this room, and then Rob, our sax player. Tim, our drummer, decided not to play with us anymore just the other day. He's going to stick with us like through the EP and the EP release. But he's got like an engineering job, and like he has to like go to the gym.
Job
He has alarms on his
Yeah,
phone.
he's got mad
He's got an
responsibilities.
alarm on his phone that tells him to drink water. That doesn't fit with the funk band. So like, everyone in the band, like when we all wake up every day, like you think like it's more likely than not that you're going to be doing something with Kiwano Sour, which is
Yeah.
why we've been able to make like a good amount of progress in a short period of time. Because like the bottom line is that if you're going to be in a band, you have to practice, and you have to like look for shows, and you have to promote, and you have to like have a meeting where you guys talk to each other about like the future, which we have on a regular basis, and it's really nice to just be with a group of people who are so willing and ready to get together on such a regular basis and work hard to try to further ourselves and like become better musicians and like better at playing with each other and everything.
So yeah, absolutely, and I can't imagine. I have it bad with the River's Edge and the Millville Music Festival and my full-time overnight job, which is bringing me back to caffeine. But I feel like you have to sympathize with me. I don't know how you do it because you've got the band. I'm talking to Sam. You've got the band. There's so much that goes involved with the band that you just brought up. You've got your job, and then you also have Three Rivers Circus, which you're one of the leading members of. And there's so much that you guys are doing there. So, are you on drugs too? Or how does that work?
Not as bad as before.
Yeah.
We actually, I mean, Sam, not to like really answer this for you, but just because it's something that we talk about all the time is that just like being super busy and how it like kind of affects everybody. We just wrote a song about this, right?
It's called Movin'. It was under the working title of Fastest Piss.
Yeah. It's like 150 BPM, little funk jam with like a bass breakdown stuff. But
there's an analog synth solo. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, but I mean, it really is just like about how being busy is crazy and you don't sleep, like you were talking with your opener and everything, and it's something that you end up kind of getting used to it, but it makes a difference whenever it's something that you really care about, and that's kind of the point of that song, is that it's just like, you are super busy and there's all this stuff going on, but it's like sometimes like, doing that stuff and like being involved with things and being busy is what makes you like feel the most fulfilled anyway. Yeah, so it's great whenever it's stuff that's,
and that's where the Lancer comes in, where you put in a long day and you're kind of sitting there and you may get a couple hours and you wake up and you're sitting there and just like can't wait to get back at it and start working again.
Yeah, there's always stuff to do.
Yeah, instead of sleeping all over lays and stairs.
Yeah,
I used to. I was living on Oliver's couch for a little bit, for months on end. Yeah. But he said that it would freak him out because like he would come downstairs in the middle of the night, he wouldn't be able to sleep. He'd come downstairs and I'd be on the couch just like.
His eyes open, just like thinking
about music.
Yeah, the way I manage it is like, I just try to say like, Kiwano Sour has this stuff going on. This needs to be done. Here's a list. Talk to the guys in Kiwano Sour. Who's doing what? That way it's not just like all on myself, and it's not just all on anyone. We all do stuff.
We've gotten pretty good at delegating for sure.
And then like with Three River Circus, like I am delegated to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, I'll bring up, I'll be like, hey, I want to do this. But with Three River Circus, you pretty much get what you put into it. Like, you can be as involved or not involved as you want, as long as you keep churning out good product.
Yeah.
But we have weekly meetings on Wednesdays. But Three River Circus is doing a lot of cool stuff. It's like still like finding out what exactly it is, because like it started off a while ago with the 5 founding members, and then recently we've been getting into like putting together events and like things like this, and we're like looking to get back to like the more creative aspect of things, like just like making products. And,
things like next weekend where you have an event Friday and Saturday.
Correct.
And I'm excited about those. So tell me a little bit about those events. One of them is a dog show. The other one is a meet and greet. So let's tackle the dog show first, because that comes first.
Right.
And I'm excited about that as a dog lover. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, these breweries coming up. We have over 30 of them right here in the Pittsburgh area, and so many of them are dog friendly.
Right.
And I often go to the breweries. I like the beer. Don't get me wrong. I love the beer. But I also love going around and petting strangers' dogs.
Yeah, right.
That's one of the best things about the breweries. It's just like I look like some sort of creeper walking around. Can I pet your dog? Can I pet your dog? And I'm literally going from dog to dog throughout the brewery, just like grazing my hand on the head of the dog. But it makes them so happy.
Yeah,
and that's one thing I love about dogs is the simplest things make dogs happy, right?
Yeah,
imagine if somebody came up and petted your head, you would be kind of creeped out. But a dog, they love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
They love all people who are nice to them. Like Hitler's dog probably thought he was the shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's nice that dogs, you get that instant feedback where you're doing something good for them.
And
They don't gotta tell
we
you.
kind of have a thing for dogs too.
Yeah, we like dogs.
Yeah, dogs are great.
But Dog Show, it's us and Bellophobia and Sully Dunn.
Yeah,
Sully. Bellophobia, they are all in high school, which is amazing, because like for what they sound like right now, and like 7 years when they're like 23.
Yeah,
they're gonna be nuts if they stay together.
They're
especially if
so
they're
talented.
not, even if they're not in the same band. Like each of those individual musicians is
they're all
definitely gonna be
crazy
playing.
talented.
Yeah. But then like dog shows, so it's the three of those bands, and then there'll be like like the live painting aspect and like
The dog aspect.
yeah. But that the big thing is like it's at the rhododendron shelter in Highland Park, and there's this big grass area, and we actually got fencing, so there's like a mini dog park. So like you can bring your dog.
Nice.
Animal Friends is gonna be there. And Animal Friends is bringing some adoptable puppies, and they're going to be raffling off like a basket of dog supplies. So like there will be like it'll be just like a dog-friendly atmosphere, and then like there'll be booze, which is always
Always
a
good.
plus. Yeah, that's huge. So
That's from 3 to 9 next Friday.
yeah, the
14th.
music starts at like 6. So like during the day, it'll probably just be like there'll be like painters painting, and like there'll be vintage clothing there too, and people just kind of hanging out on a nice day at the beginning of fall, and then, then the music will kick up like later in the day.
Sounds like you need a radio stream to play for this first few hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the first like 3 hours of the show, there'll be like, just like music playing.
Yeah.
And then like we might even have like what that time is so free, and like it's at a shelter in Highland Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly for animal friends. Like this isn't some event that's coming together to like make a bunch of money. The event was put together by Lauren Kelly, who lives at my house,
Okay.
or my friend Aiden's house that I live at. But like she put the event together. She got animal friends to be there. We're hoping that people could just come together, have a good time, chill out in the park for a day, and then it would be so great if someone took home a dog.
Yeah, if
That'd
they
be
found a good home
sick,
for those
yeah.
dogs, it'd be so nice. That's
Yeah.
like the main thing that I'm looking for. I mean, the art and thing's gonna be great, but it's just we feel like so lucky that Animal Friends like wanted to partner with us and like
Yeah.
really have this opportunity because I mean it would be so amazing if we could find homes for these boys, man.
Yeah, and then you can find out about the event on the Three River Circus Facebook page. And then if you are just in Highland Park or Lawrenceville, there's a green flyer that says Dog Show.
Yeah.
And I think Lauren is actually right now walking around Highland Park and Lawrenceville putting those flyers up. So, like, it'll be around. Like, you'll see it. And, it'll be a great event. Like, who doesn't like dogs? That's the main theme of the
Awful
whole thing.
people. Awful people.
Yeah, you gotta be a real piece.
Yeah.
It's not like a dog. But yeah, like that'd be super cool. Like even if it's like, if there's 50 people there, 15 dogs or something. I know Spud, one of my favorite French bulldogs in the city of Pittsburgh, will be making an appearance.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
true.
My dog Lucy, that I got in a trailer park from a guy with a trench coat, she will also be there.
Well, the dogs that
Just a
come
better
from
review.
the dogs that come from the weirdest places tend to often be some of the nicest dogs.
Oh, yeah, like
They're some of
dogs
the
in
most
general.
loyal dogs as well.
Lucy is one of the greatest dogs out there.
Yeah, me and my friend Ed, it was the day after Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm getting a dog, because I was sad. So we drove out to this trailer park north of the city, and Ed has a yellow Mitsubishi Eclipse with like this like stupid carbon fiber sticker on the hood. And we pull in this trailer park, so it's just like, hey, look at those guys. Like immediately when we came in, this guy like comes out of his trailer with like a cig in his mouth, so, like followed by like 4 children. And like he just like has this big trench coat on. He like reaches into it, and we were like,
This
and then he just like pulls out like a puppy. She was supposed to be like a 2-year-old lab mix, and it was just like a mutt that was 8 weeks old. And we were
Yeah.
like, wow, new plans for next month. But yeah, so Dog Show, you should go.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a cool one, especially just to go around and see the dogs. I mean, the music is amazing. That's going to be great. The
It'll be a
art is going
soundtrack
to be
to dogs.
fantastic. Yeah, but the dogs, I mean, that's like the selling point to me.
So
like,
dog
this-
owners, come to the Rhododendron Shelter.
Oh, and non-dog owners, because then
aspiring
you can
dog
you-
owners
you-
too,
yeah.
or just people who don't own dogs and want to get their fix of dog petting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I would love to have a dog, but I don't have the time to be fair to the dog.
You should
because
get a
I'm-
bulldog, so it'll just like sit there. Like right there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's
I'm in every
Michael
show.
Sorg for Sorgatron Media. They have a dog, and they call it the studio dog. And a lot of
Nice.
times when you're watching one of his broadcasts out in Beachview, you'll see the dog kind of crawl up behind someone on the couch. And it's like the best thing in the world. I was there in the chat room the one day because they do Facebook Live like we do. And I see the dog, and he's switching cameras. I'm like, no. Switch back. I think it was John Chichilla, who's on AwesomeCast, which you can hear every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. at riversedgepgh.com. I said, no, put the camera back on Chilla because the dog's there. I want to see the dog. Like that beautiful pooch is right there, waiting to be viewed,
Yes.
just chilling out in the background. And again, Awesome Cast is great. I would watch Awesome Cast anyways, but the fact that there's a dog in the background, it's like, well, now you have to watch it, right?
Dogs are the bee's
Dogs are
knees.
We should
Great.
bring Lucy on stage.
Or the cat's meow,
Yeah.
if you will.
We need to get some earplugs and bring Lucy on stage or something.
She would be like,
So real quick, let's talk a little bit about the second event that you have coming up next weekend, and that's going to be the meet and greet, and that's the 15th from 3 to 7. So what's going on with that?
well, meet and greet is at Shenley Plaza, and it's being advertised to the college freshmen of the local universities because there's like 30, you know, if you know that.
Yes, there's a
So-
As many universities as there are breweries.
Yeah, and then like,
That is a good point.
and then so Shenley Plaza is like, I remember whenever I was a freshman at Pitt before I stopped going there, you know.
Same.
So like whenever I was a freshman, like early in the school year, on Saturday at 3 p.m., you're going to Shenley Park.
Yeah.
Like you're just walking around right there. So like the organic draw of like just like if you're walking past an event with a bunch of live painting and like vintage clothes and like studios and photographers and stuff, and there's like a stage that music is playing on and the music is good, who's gonna be like, fuck that, that's stupid? Like no one. So
Yeah.
like I think that that'll be a good event, and I think that the real goal of it was like my brainchild in TRC, and everyone's helped me out with it a lot. And I think that the real goal of it is like if you are 18 and you just got to Pittsburgh and you're like, I want to do music stuff while I'm here, you just go to that event and then it's like, oh, well, there's photographers and artists and musicians and people who are just a little bit older than me would have themselves set up in the music and art scene in Pittsburgh. So I can just talk to them. That's why it's called a meet and greet. It's not a meet and greet for anyone specific. It's just so that like, you know, the younger musicians can come and talk to the people who are just like not much older than them, but just like a few years of being in the music scene older than them.
And also even just like kids that are moving in from like out of town who like don't know what the music scene is like and they want to find bands or like artists that they want to support while they're here because it's
or like bands that don't get enough shows for their liking and
yeah,
stuff.
because I mean that's like a huge part is like you have people coming in from all over the place and like there's a really vibrant art scene here and like these folks want to support and like creating that like having that connection with this new town like helps to really put the roots in for a lot of kids that are coming in for school too and you know looking for kind of identity stuff to like connect to and I think that like you know finding that and really engaging with is gonna be dope.
It all really goes back to like building the Pittsburgh like art music scene.
Yeah.
You know, like
In the right way, too.
Yeah, like fostering the next generation of musicians.
It's great because a lot of people, I guess, don't know how to network, which is always something I've never really understood as someone who has always been really good at that, but apparently it's just not a skill that everybody has. So I think an event like this is great to open that opportunity up for people and kind of allow people who maybe aren't good at networking on their own to take advantage of.
And like you can see the event on the Three River Circus page, and like it'll be shared on James Street Promotions, and it's sponsored by Zed's Threads, vintage clothing in Southside, amazing. Tootie's famous Italian beef,
Yes, Tooties.
Nadine's, which was very
nice.
near and dear to our hearts.
Oh, so
Nadine's bar,
very
on
important
27th
to our
Street.
band in
Very,
general.
very important. And then Hotbox Studios, which is our friend Dan, who Dan's cool, and he's got a really like pretty packed schedule, like so that means he's doing something right in his studio. And then One Stop Convenience Store, Newman.
Yes.
Gives me free cigarettes all the time.
An Oakland staple,
Yeah.
an institution of the Oakland college life. Not even if you're in college, Newman
I think
is
the best way to
a
describe
kingpin.
him would
Love
be albino foreign.
him. Sure, I guess.
Like that's what he looks like. He's a little guy. He has a convenience store. It's a pretty sketchy convenience store. It's my favorite place.
The best way to describe Newman is just a beautiful, beautiful soul.
I don't know. He's kind of. I think he might be a bad person.
He
though.
might be a bad person. That place is an institution.
This
Anyway, but
is
yeah.
supposed to be a plug. Come on.
the whole thing for meet and greet is that we wanted to just everyone like I want people who are more like popular and more involved than us to come so we can talk to them, so we can talk to
Yeah.
younger people and like everyone. If we can get like some major players in the Pittsburgh music scene to all come there and be like, hey, I do this. This is what you should do. That's great. You know what I mean? That's just a good event to have. We want to make it annual.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great. So you can check all of that out at the Three Rivers Circus Facebook page.
Correct.
All of the information is there. It's Kiwano Sour here in studio. I'm Brian Crawford. This is the Rivers Edge Radio Network. And I want to just let you know, if you're listening to the program and you hear dead air, I've probably passed out. I'm probably dead. So if you hear dead air, you're watching the video, and I fall over, don't call 911. Just call Han Funeral Home. I'm probably dead. The lack of sleep has gotten to me. Han Funeral Home, right here in Millville, the only locally owned funeral home here in Millville, who specializes in green burials. Just give them a call. Have them haul my body down the Hans. You can even come to the funeral. So, Han Funeral Home. Thanks to Kiwano Sour. They're going to be here in studio. I think you guys are going to stick around if you want. You can join in on the weird news.
Are you sponsored by?
What's that?
Are you sponsored by a funeral home?
Yes, Han Funeral Home.
That's
the
awesome.
Only family-owned funeral home here in Millville. That's Kiwano Sour. They're going to stick with us through the weird news, which is right now here on the River's Edge. All right, I am Pittsburgh's #1 weapon, fighting the Mon Monster, who threatens the city with total destruction each and every week. If you're a longtime listener to the program, you know that the Mon Monster can only be deterred with not one, not two, but 3 weird stories. It thrives on weird news. We're going to try to give you a double dose this week with Jay Cooper out, so it's going to be 6 weird news stories over the next two shows, today and the Sunday night show, if you're watching live on Facebook. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the service industry. The service industry, that's right. There is a new hotel that has opened up in Japan, and it's really futuristic, as you can imagine. Well, is it futuristic? It's in Japan. I'll let you be the judge. It's a new hotel in Japan, and they're stepping back into the past. They're moving to the past by stepping into the future with robot hosts, robot greeters at the museum, robot desk clerks, but they're not human. No, these robots are dinosaurs. They're incredible. Literally, you walk up to the desk, the dinosaur will recognize that there is a human there, and then the dinosaur will make its way over to you to take your order, to help you out. I think this is fantastic. I love the concept of a dinosaur desk clerk. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, I feel like that should exist in Orlando. Universal needs to hire this company, because can you imagine a Jurassic Park themed hotel down in Orlando? You're on your way in, and you're greeted by a Velociraptor. I feel like that would be badass. What other kind of restaurants could you do, or hotels could you do through robots? I could see like Star Wars. I could see maybe a River's Edge one where you just have drones of me and Sasson and Gaika and all of the great hosts just serving you. Can you imagine that? That would be fantastic, right? So, I don't know. Would you guys stay at a hotel that is run by dinosaurs?
I would.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I
Without
think
a doubt.
especially if it becomes a Jurassic Park themed one, and for some reason they just have like a weird like Jeff Goldblum dinosaur hybrid that just is kind of there like greeting you, I would for sure stay.
Goldblum.
Velociraptor Goldblum would be my new dad.
I just want to try to watch a T-Rex make a bed. I think
The housekeeping is just like a T-Rex, just like trying to fold sheets.
Now, like, do these dinosaur robots talk to you, or like, are you like, can I get a whiskey ginger? And they're like, ah.
I kind of hope they just roar at you. I
Yeah.
feel like that would
But
be a cooler
really,
way
really
to go.
difficult for guest relations. You
Or
know,
it would
if you're
be
like,
kinda
hey,
like-
like the sink
that's
isn't
what Jeff
working in my
Goldblum. That's
room.
what Jeff Goldblum said.
I mean, I was at a convenience store the other day trying to get a sandwich, and I would have rather the guy had just growled at me. The service was so awful. So I mean,
So you get for getting convenience store food.
well, it was like one of the convenience stores that have the full kitchen.
I thought you were
if
talking about
if
like
know what I
full
mean.
bodega.
like wrapped
Yeah.
up
Is that not
turkey
the-
and tuna salad.
No,
Yeah,
it's
like
like
some
one of
weird
those
Wawa stuff.
one of those
Whoa,
made to
whoa, whoa.
order places.
Yeah,
So,
we'll start it. We'll start it on the River's Edge. We're gonna start a Wawa beef
Start
right
a
now.
Wawa fight right now.
Don't you put that evil.
We gotta go outside. I gotta take care of it.
Maybe Jeff Goldblum is the host, but then like all of the cleaning people and the bartenders are dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think all like
Maybe.
I think
You
like,
walk in, he's like, hello, welcome to the
yeah. Could you please enjoy your stay here?
Well, there is a woman right now who is trying to help women feel confident in the bedroom. and she's working on an art project. Maybe she could get coordinated with you guys for one of the upcoming shows. She's got a very, very interesting and unique art style. This woman, she's a mother, and she is trying to inspire people with vagina art. She has created a sculpture of a vagina, a framed sculpture that is within a picture frame for women to hang in the bedroom. And apparently seeing the vagina on the wall while you're getting nasty is going to inspire confidence and vigor in the bedroom. So I don't know. Would you guys want a picture of a penis on the wall? Would that help you? Would that help you feel more confident in the bedroom?
Absolutely,
Like
for
another
sure.
one?
I feel like there's like people see like enough dicks, like enough. I don't know. I don't think there's any need for like a penis to just be like a sculpture of a dick just hanging in the bedroom.
I kind of like the
thing's
vagina
really-
thing where they like look at you.
But
and
isn't
they're
that kind of like I totally support her art. I support local art or whoever. I don't know if she's local, but artists in general. But like, isn't that kind of like just a Georgia O'Keeffe knockoff? Like, isn't that like what
yeah,
Georgia
that's
O'Keeffe
our
did?
flower vagina.
I mean, granted, like this is sculpture and not painting, but like I figure you might as well just hang a Georgia O'Keeffe painting, and just have like a nice flower that looks like a vagina, and like it's a little bit more like nuanced. Like I feel like the issue with that, I feel like, is that it's a little bit
confidence.
yeah, the calm confidence of a Georgia O'Keeffe vagina on your wall.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know, for me, and again, this is just speaking for me, it's just like it's a little bit too in your face. I like the nuancedness of like a painting where it's like kind of incorporated, but not necessarily like overtly like vagina.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like, to be
I support it still. I just don't know if I don't think it's my thing.
It's not going to give you any confidence. You're not
also-
going to like if you saw.
Well, it's not about me, right? It's for women getting
women.
confidence, right? Yeah,
but
so-
but I feel like maybe it could translate to men. A giant a giant member right up.
It's made out of stone, right?
This
sculpture.
one, no.
No, no.
I mean, what is the medium? I know you said sculpture, but what type of material are we talking here?
human
let's see.
flesh.
That'd be okay.
It doesn't say here what
Okay,
it's
we'll have
made
to-
out of,
we'll have to figure
but
that out.
but it's framed.
Okay.
So
So it's contained within like
it's within a
To be,
picture
to
frame.
be completely honest, I don't think that it's. I think you can definitely find bedroom confidence without a vagina on your wall. I definitely don't want a dick on the wall, and I'm also
Yeah.
planning.
What if it was like What if it was a life-sized sculpture just sitting on the nightstand?
Oh,
So
yeah.
whenever you're getting it on, you can just kind of look over and gaze and be like, oh, okay, that's what it's
I feel like I'd be trying to turn.
Is that just a dildo?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like I'd be trying to turn my lamp off and just like give my furniture a hand job real quick.
All right,
I mean, women are the world's most beautiful creatures, so I don't think that they need to look at a pocket pussy.
But if they want to do it, I mean, I support it for sure.
Yeah, no.
It's not something that I would go for personally. Again, I'm going back. I know I'm pretty sure she's not dead. Maybe she is dead. Maybe she was a while ago. But I'm just gonna keep plugging Georgia O'Keeffe. Buy some Georgia O'Keeffe originals. Spend a few $1 million on that. That'll give you some
She
confidence no
died
matter
at
where you
100
go.
years old.
Did she?
Yeah,
When was that?
I believe
was it?
2007.
Okay, yeah, that
I don't
sounds
know
about
if
right.
it's exactly right, but it's close to that. I
close.
know she was
It's
either
close.
99 or 100.
Okay, yeah, I knew she was old. I just didn't know if but no, I mean, if you need confidence, do whatever you need. I think it's a very personal, subjective
It's more
thing.
about comfort than confidence, though.
That's true. I guess isn't that like Trojan's whole marketing campaign? It's like you don't have to be confident, but you're gonna feel good.
All right, so there's a new strategy out in another country, actually, out in Kuwait to test fresh fish, and they've come up with a strategy to let everybody know that they have the freshest fish on the market. Try saying that 3 times fast. Freshest fish, fast. So anyways, they've come up with a strategy. People are going out in the market, and you know that they have the freshest fish by the eyes, the eyeballs. So what they have done to let everybody know that the fish is fresh is they've stuck googly eyes right on the fish. So you can see right there that these fish were literally just pulled out of the ocean, chopped up, and ready for sale. Googly-eyed fish. So this is definitely the new strategy. I think Woolies down in the Strip District, Giant Eagle, Coons, wherever you go to get your fish, they got to change up the strategy. All you need is the googly eyes. People love googly eyes, though. Googly eyes are big. They are in. There's a group on Facebook, and actually, I believe Zach and Jonathan of the Metal Edge, our 24-hour metal music station at metaledgepgh.com, I believe they now run this page. They did not start the page. It's called Metal Albums with Googly Eyes. And I'm sad to say that Metal Albums with Googly Eyes has a stronger reach than the River's Edge with this massive following on Facebook. And literally all that they do is they go around and take the Googly Eyes and put it on the album covers, over top of the eyes that already exist. Some of the pictures are pretty fantastic. There's one here I'm watching from Nevermore that have googly eyes on the person, but then also heads on sticks, skulls on sticks with googly eyes as well. It just makes the metal scene so much more adorable. And I think, what's that?
I'd put that in the bedroom first.
You put that in the bedroom first? Would that give you more confidence in bed?
Much. Just more eyes on me.
Yeah, more eyes on you. So, but that might scare some people away, right? If eyes are on them.
Ollie's not looking for them. Yeah, Ollie's not looking for them if that's gonna scare him away.
Yeah.
But I mean, we used to do. I mean, that's like a classic pastime, right? Like I think I've gone around.
Googly eyes on stuff?
Yeah, like I've went like in high school or whatever. We would go around like Target or like once I turned 18, we could get in like the sex shop without people looking at us weird. Like we just like put googly eyes on like dildos and stuff, and like in Target just throwing it around. So that way, whenever kids are like looking around Target, not the sex shop, they just like see like weird like googly eyes on stuff, and they're just like, oh, this is hilarious. It's just like something I don't know. It's just hilarious. There's something about googly eyes because they're so clearly like not human. It's just like they're just like wiggly, and you're like, what is?
We had very different childhoods.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's true.
Yeah, he was putting googly eyes on dildos. Ollie was throwing hay. Ollie grew up on a farm.
Oh,
that's true.
did you?
Yeah, I did.
Also, I forgot to say.
They grew googly eyes.
I forgot to say we have a live video on our Facebook.
Oh, okay.
We can put googly eyes on if we want.
Oh, we should do that. That'd be awesome.
Googly eyed and
There we go.
boogie stop. And you said freshest fish on the market and stuff to say fast. Jeff says boogity 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 really fast.
Boogity, bunch of that.
That's actually, I feel like that's easier to say almost. Like
It's because it's repetitive. I feel like it is a little bit easier, but
it's more like boogity boogity in the actual song.
Boogity boogity stop. Yeah, it's like it's pretty quick. But once you get, it's like I don't know. Once you get it in your mouth, it just goes. It kind of does it on its own.
Goes it.
Lauren, the girl who's doing a dog show.
What's that?
Lauren, the girl who's throwing dog show.
Yes.
She like works with us a lot, and like she tries to do is like boogity.
Yeah.
But so the googly eyes thing.
I'm with it. I think it's great.
I think I'm more likely to buy a whole fish with googly eyes on it. Certainly.
Yeah, it would be a weird thing to find out.
So are they
like,
putting
later,
googly
though.
eyes in the place of the regular eyes on the
They're
fish?
putting them on top of the actual eyes.
Okay.
So
Yes.
that way that you can't tell that the
On the
fish
fins.
are old. So it says here that they shut down the seafood market because of the googly eye phenomenon. I guess they thought it was misleading because it wasn't the actual eyes of the fish.
Well, it's certainly misleading,
Yeah.
but I feel like if you're buying fish at a market and you can't tell that this fish is like bad,
Those googly eyes.
like fish is something that's like, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell if a
Like,
fish
just,
is
like,
like past
fucked
the point
up,
of
like-
past the point
Fish
of return.
smell
Yeah.
horrible
Yeah.
when they're dead.
Yeah,
They
really, really
smell
bad.
awful.
Yeah.
I remember I had a fish tank and the fish died in there, and oh my god, the odor, it was awful. And
Sam killed like 3 fish in like
Oh,
1
really?
month.
And a snail.
A snail. It was so sad.
I think the snail was alive when we flushed it.
Oh my, that's awful. A snail. It's hard to tell though with a snail.
Yeah, because they like don't move.
You
His
should
name
just put
was
googly
Jeff.
eyes on him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had Kiwano the fish.
He
What?
died.
Yeah, Kiwano the fish
too?
died.
No.
Kiwano.
Tim the
Tim.
fish?
No, Tim's the cactus. We still
Right,
have Tim the
right.
cactus.
Rob?
He's dead now too, though.
Oh, damn.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim the cactus. Is
No,
dead.
I have Tim the cactus.
Oh, you
Yeah,
have Tim
yeah.
the cactus?
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
But like, yeah, then we had Rob the fish. He was orange. Our sax player is a ginger bearded machinist from Hampton.
Yeah.
So we named our second fish Rob, and then he died.
Yep.
And then we still had Jeff the snail. Jeff the snail was alive. We were feeding him fish food.
That's
We didn't
it.
really know what to do with him. He didn't move much.
Yeah, it's hard with a
And then he
snail. It's
died.
difficult. I feel like if you would have put googly eyes on him, it would have been
So
a little
sad.
bit more clear about his age. And
We did everything we were supposed to do to keep them damn fish alive, but I think that they
except spend more than like $10 on a fish tank.
yeah, we had a fish tank that was too small, and like I think there's just like the constant just pummeling of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't help.
I had a rich guy who was a friend of mine, and
You smoke cig?
this is back. What's that?
You smoke cig?
I don't think that's the segue. Sam.
No, it's not a segue. It's a story. So we're talking about fish, and this guy. So this is back when I was involved in politics, and I would often we would work together a lot, and he just liked me because I was a young guy making it in the political world at the time, and his kids would decide to remodel their room, and he was just rich, so he just gave me stuff. I have this giant entertainment stand that's like hardwood, probably like hundreds of dollars, fantastic, one of the nicest pieces of furniture that I own. Got it for free because his daughter decided to remodel the room. Neither of his kids were taking care of his fish. So I got this giant fish tank that is like 30 gallons, and I had a smaller fish tank as well. Got the fish tank, both tanks, all of the supplies, fish food, and the fish for free.
That's amazing.
From this guy. He just gave me stuff all the time. Like make a rich friend, and they'll just give you things if they're nice. Every time
I meet a rich person, I try to eat them, so it's a bit difficult.
Eat them?
Eat the rich is a lifestyle, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know how it goes.
Like consume them? Like
cannibal
style?
Right, like if you know...
I think I'd be a classic cannibal, and if someone cooked me a human steak and offered it to me, I would eat it immediately.
I mean,
yeah, well, you can't let it
Human
go
steak,
cold.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, some people are like, no, I wouldn't eat it as human. It's like, I would.
I would need, like, I could not have, like, a classic medium rare human steak, though. It would need to be well done. I just couldn't get past, like, a rare human steak.
Also,
I wouldn't eat humans. I'm in favor of the classic steak. I would imagine, like, honestly, do you think I don't even think a human would taste good. There's not much here.
No, but wouldn't you try it?
No, I wouldn't. No.
He doesn't need that.
I don't endorse cannibals.
Also, we are partnering with
the
Animal
River's Edge.
Friends.
Right.
Don't eat dogs either.
Don't eat humans.
Eat cows. This is America. We like to eat cows, right? Cows are where it's
Don't
at.
kill your fish. Don't eat people.
Don't eat your
puppies.
These are words that Kiwano Sour lives by, except for Sam Kiss.
I would eat a person.
Don't even eat a person. Stay tuned.
I wouldn't go like find one and eat it. But if like Gordon Ramsay was like human steak, I'd be like,
all right, so everybody, you have homework. We're running a little over. We had such a great conversation with Kiwano Sour that I let the conversation run long, and that's okay because that means I don't have to come up with show prep for Sunday night. So you have some homework. You're listening now. You're going to listen. You're going to tune back in on Sunday. And on Sunday, I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on the stadiums wanting more of your money. We're going to talk about this beer museum on Sunday as well, which wants to come to Pittsburgh. It wants to open in Pittsburgh. They've already done some crowdsourcing, so they have a little bit of startup money. I am excited about the concept. I'm interested to see how this will turn out. We're going to talk about that. Maybe I'll bring in a guest to talk about the beer museum, the beer guide. I think we could dive more into this beer guide, which I'm really excited about. So definitely come in on Tuesday. It's going to be 7 p.m. here at riversedgepgh.com/live. And also, it is available on the Facebook Live feed as well. I want to remind all of you to stay tuned to the River's Edge. I know we've been teasing an event coming for International Podcast Day, which is September 30th. We will be releasing the information soon. We've been held up a little bit with a venue change, so we're ironing that out. As soon as we have that information, we will get it to you. So stay tuned to River Talk right here, and also to Sorgatron Media at sorgatronmedia.com. Stay tuned for all of that as we get that information out to you. Don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the big event. I'm really excited about the Transcontinental Tour homecoming party for Liz Victory and Krish Mohan. That starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow at Hambones. I, Brian Crawford, will be hosting. It's going to be a fantastic event. Sister Sheena and the Shadow Puppets will be there, as well as Derek Minto. Lots of great stuff. Liz and Krish, of course, will be there as they make their return to Pittsburgh. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Again, you do not want to miss it. It's going to be a great time. Also, don't forget to come on out the 14th and the 15th next weekend, and then also October 20th for Kiwano Sour. And watch the Boogie Stop video as well. It's on the Facebook page, so check all of that out. Lots of good stuff. And don't forget, Sunday, we're going to be talking beer all day Sunday. I'm actually kind of glad we ran out of time because I think it's going to create a much more in-depth conversation on beer, which is great. I love talking about beer. Maybe I'll even No, maybe I'll even do the show at a brewery or bring beer into the studio. I rarely drink when I'm on air, but I'm not opposed to the concept. Not at all. I'll need something. So, I'm Brian Crawford. This is River Talk. Thanks so much to Kiwano Sour for coming into the studio. Don't forget, Sunday, 7 p.m., you can listen to this show if you missed the beginning. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at riversedgepgh.com right after AwesomeCast. I'm Brian Crawford. This is Pittsburgh's Voice for Local Music, The River's Edge.